everyone, welcome back inside the film room. I'm Zach Goins, and today I'm joined by the brilliant Hannah Waddingham. You know her as Rebecca Welton on Ted Lasso, the Emmy-winning comedy from Apple TV Plus. Welcome back, Hannah. It's always a pleasure to have you. How are you?
Thank you. I feel like we're old pals now, my friend.
We go way back at this point, right?
We've been through a lot together.
We have. I'm so excited to chat this time around because obviously season 3 is out there. The story has come to a close. You're hot on another Emmy campaign, so I just want to take a moment here and get a wellness check. There's a lot of emotions going around, a lot of exciting events happening. How are you?
Wellness check. I'm in rampant denial, thank you very much. Yeah. Feel a bit
I think
odd.
a lot of us are with you on that. A lot of the viewers side.
Yeah. We had a little private Greyhounds only screening. A lot of sniffing, man. A lot of sniffing.
The tissues were passed around.
Mostly from the burly boys. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of, in a way, I don't really know what to say about it because I think I've gone a bit numb.
It's living through it and then watching it back all on TV, and then the questions of, is it the end? Is it not? Who knows? It's just there's just a lot of stuff up in the air. So I can only imagine what it's like to be on your side of it all.
Have you ever put Jason on the spot and said, come on?
Jason has been dodging my interviews all 3 seasons. I didn't put him on the spot. I got to chat with him at the premiere, and finally it was more of me just being like, thank you for making this brilliant show. I didn't have the nerve to ask him on the spot, but if he comes on, I'll have to do it. But
well, he'll be used to it from us. So
well, looking at season 3, we've got to talk about it, break it down a little bit. I know the last time we chatted when we were doing this for post season 2, you were saying that your goal, what you wanted to see happen for Rebecca was to find inner calm in whatever form that comes. So now that we are through this story, I think mission accomplished. Do you think mission accomplished?
I would say so, of sorts. What I will say is I think we've left her in a place of newfound calm.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's where the greatest thing, which is something I felt very strongly about, was for her to be there because she wants to be there and for no other reason.
Right.
And that's a really glorious place to leave her. More than anything else, that's the glorious place to leave her, that she didn't know she had it in her to be that. Right. To go and get Zava when no one else could, that kind of thing. I love the fact that she instigated that shift in the team. I love that. You would never have said that.
No, absolutely. There are so many moments throughout the season where it's like season 1 Rebecca would have never done this. But yeah, I think one of the other things when you mentioned that the last time we were talking, you also said that, this doesn't necessarily need to have a man or a romantic partner to make it happen. And obviously we end up with the potential of the Dutch man returning back. But the potential, exactly. There's so much calm and peace that comes from it before any of that, with the episode 10, in the mirror, seeing your younger self, telling off Rupert, like getting everybody in front of the Super League and telling this story, selling the team, wanting to be here because you want to be here, like you said. And I think that's what's so brilliant about this ending for Rebecca.
Absolutely. There are so many different parts of it, moving parts to her inner calm. And I like that you said that about the potential of somebody coming into her life, because that's what she had hoped for, is a door somewhere to open that wasn't so marred from the past. He's a completely new, fresh, independent, unique being. And I love the fact that the writing of the barge scene, the Amsterdam scene, season in Ep 6, I love that I got the chance to play her as a young woman with freshness and a twinkle that, even though I loved what Rebecca has with Sam, it's not the same Rebecca.
This is the first time that's my favorite episode, I think, of the whole series, the Sunflowers episode, because
it's brilliant for everyone.
so many great storylines. Yours obviously being with the houseboat and all of this. To quote Roy Kent, you mentioned Sam. Like, yes, we've seen him. We've seen different things. We saw John Wing's night, but to quote Roy, this is the first time that we have seen you struck by fucking lightning. Like, it's so pure, and this like romance is the ships passing in the night. Will they? Won't they? Who knows? Like, there's so much that I love about it. And then to circle back with him at the end is for that potential. Ever since that happened in episode 6, that was where I was leaning. I was like, please bring this man back. And then once I saw the Sleepless in Seattle, I was like, Tom Hanks lives on a houseboat in that movie.
Well, I think it's genius that they did the whole thing of them not exchanging numbers, not exchanging names. So the fact that they then bump into each other at a transient place like an airport, I just think is just lovely. And she sees the child and helps the child first.
Right.
It's really beautiful beats.
It truly is. And you've mentioned some of the other highlights of, obviously we had that episode, but you mentioned telling off Zava. That was a great scene. We had episode 9 where you got to give the reverse of the struck by lightning speech to Roy, motivate him. The Rupert monologue with the Akufo Super League. There are so many moments I was trying to decide which one would be your Emmy clip. And I don't know, because there are so many. Is there one that stands out to you as the crowning achievement of Rebecca from this season? Because
Zach, like, you should know, I don't even like, I genuinely don't think
you don't even like watching yourself. I know.
No, I don't. And I genuinely don't. I don't, more to the point, I don't think in those terms. So I don't know. I know that my team will undoubtedly press me on it and go, well, look, lady, you've got to decide.
But is there one that's just a personal favorite for you looking back? Not, clips aside, just anything that stands out as a favorite scene from you?
The one on the barge. When he's cooking dinner and you see a nervousness and an excitement in her that you've never seen before. And I tried to make her as much back to the woman that Sassy was describing when she says, no, this isn't Rebecca. Rebecca is silly and funny and excitable. And so in terms of satisfaction to play and knowing that I was with the right scene partner, Matteo Vandergreen, it was the most perfect choice. I don't know who decided to get him in for this, but I mean, it was so gorgeous because when I was shooting the scene on the other side of the canal, and the stuff on the phone with Sassy, and then he suddenly starts talking to me. Matteo was already situated on the barge to do that across the barge thing with me, and he and I hadn't been introduced to each other before that.
Oh wow! And what a way to start!
Me and went, and I was like, and it was an immediate like, oh, this is going to be absolutely fine.
No, that's incredible.
It's really lovely
how it played out, because you two are so magnetic together during that sequence. To just be able to pick that up like that, it's truly a testament to both of you.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I felt like I'd had like a 2-day affair without any of the extra bits, because we were on this completely different set.
Right.
And even though it was shot at West London Film Studios and our incredible Paul Cripps, our set designer, and all his team had built it, honestly, both Jason and Brendan were just like, everyone is very chilled these 2 days. It was like we'd all gone on holiday together and that I'd nicked off for a little.
And then you come back singing Bob Marley. So it's just like in the show.
He did something right, my friend.
Well, obviously we've talked a lot about the houseboat, but there was a large portion of the fandom that was convinced that Ted and Rebecca could be a thing. The TedBecca fans out there, is there a message of encouragement, consolidation for them or consolation for them that are out there trying to figure out their feelings?
It's beautiful that anybody thought that in the first place, because as I've said to other people, and there's been times when I've thought that would be the end game, because I don't know as much as anyone else. I just try and keep true and honest to Rebecca and serve her. So when the scripts come in, I kept thinking, is this gonna do that?
Right.
what I would say is that anybody who has been wanting that is a lover of hope and positivity, and you know, there is a beauty in that in itself. I understand why people would think that, but I also understand Jason's way of thinking about, you know, he was always adamant to me, which I have always found hard to not kind of convey just as his thoughts, because I thought there were times when they would end up together as well. But he's always been adamant to me that they are soulmates in the mate form, as in friends form.
Right.
So it's always, whenever anyone's asked me about it, I've always wanted to go, I know, right? But Jason has always maintained that they are the yin to each other's yang in a friendship way. Yeah.
We'll have to see at least some sort of story of Rebecca going to visit Kansas City and having some barbecue and making her way around the Midwest. That'd be a hoot for a best friend.
It ain't over until somebody punctures the football.
Well, I know one of the things that I had previously asked you when we were talking pre-season 3 was for a single word to describe season 3. Sum it up in one word. And you started to say something, you caught yourself, didn't say it.
Did I?
You didn't say the word, and you were like, oh, that was going to give it all away. And so I resurfaced this clip on Twitter. Fans were like, you have to ask her, what was the word? So I know it's 12 months ago. Do you remember or no?
What did I end up saying to you? Family.
You said family, yes. So
family.
I don't know, was it I can't even say it, the gezellig or the word that he says, or was it something else?
I was going to say gezellig, or I was going to say goodbye.
Those would have both been big giveaways. So I'm glad you caught yourself.
I think if you watched it carefully, I'd go.
Oh, well, both
this is why they can't tell me things. I got a big face. I'm going to end up going.
Well, at least at this point, I don't have any leading questions to ask you since we don't know what's next. But
no, but you see, this is when I have to kind of watch myself more, because I'll end up giving things away about the whole blooming process and thing. You know, part of me goes, "Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. It's done." But you know, who knows?
We're not trying to get anybody in trouble over here. But you just wrapped
up. I get myself in trouble.
You just wrapped up Ted Lasso. You just wrapped up Eurovision, had another prestigious show under your belt. You've got a holiday special coming for Apple TV later this year. You're going to be in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, The Fall Guy, Garfield. You're diving headfirst into Emmy season. When do you
and
rest?
Crapopolis for Dan Harmon.
Yes, another show, animated show. When are you going to rest during this quest for global domination?
That's what I keep saying. That's what I keep saying. I just had to keep on going. I especially had to keep on going. I shot my Christmas special last Saturday. And it's going to be, you know, I don't usually toot my own horn, but it's going to be pretty blooming epic.
I mean, what's that like shooting in May for Christmas? Obviously, you've got to prepare, but were you all decked out in red and green? You've got people in hats and Christmas gear.
You can imagine Apple don't do things by half.
Oh, obviously. I'm going to have that, you know, ever since the Christmas episode last year, I've had that on loop and the behind the scenes video of you singing. So I'm so happy to finally get an official Hannah Waddingham Christmas soundtrack that we can have this season.
I mean, I've got some stonking guests on it. Leslie Odom Jr. from, I mean, well, basically everything, including Hamilton. It was my daughter who was like, Mummy, you got to sing with him because she's obsessed with him. And I've got Sam Ryder, who, you know, he does a track on our show, Fought and Lost, in the truth scene for Ted and Rebecca, the last one. And also is a massive artist in his own right in Europe and was at Eurovision again. And then Luke Evans.
Wow.
You know, enough said there. Fabulous. And then the English National Opera Chorus, who are the chorus in the London Coliseum where I shot it, whom I've known for 30 years of my life. And then the London Gay Men's Chorus, of whom I'm a patron. So it was a really gorgeous just group of I like misfits. You know, I'm a gypsy at heart. I'm a gypsy theatre girl at heart. So I was like, let's get them and let's get them. And Apple were like, oh, where's the ark? I was like, Screw the arc.
Well, that's the one that I'm most looking forward to, followed closely by Mission Impossible. I'm so excited to see you with these. You know, you're a superstar, so finally getting to see you with Tom Cruise, with Ryan Gosling, and like,
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, this is finally we're getting Hannah up there with the A-list stars that she deserves to be surrounded.
They're very good human beings, those people you mentioned, and Emily Blunt as well.
Of course.
Very, I think, long-term and beautiful friendship there with her.
Wow. I would love to see you guys continue to work together throughout the future.
Yeah, it was pretty special, me and her.
There's one, I know I just mentioned all the stuff you do have in the works. There are two potentials that I love, the fans love, we need to have happen. When I was talking with the cast of Schmigadoon for these interviews, I asked all of them, what Apple TV Plus show would you like to see adapted into a Broadway musical? And a lot of people said Ted Lasso because of you in a large part. And I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the potential of taking Lasso to Broadway or to West End, making it a musical?
I mean, I feel like when the cameras are off, we're all that anyway.
I mean, there's so many musical references anyway.
I feel like I've already done it. Yeah. I think it's beautiful as it is.
Oh, breaking my heart here, Hannah. But if you do have any extra time, I know you have your busy schedule, but would not mind a cameo in season 3 of Schmigadoon if Lasso's done.
Well, Jane Krakowski and I just did a thing together today, and we were both like, hello, we're 100% like shoo-in for sisters.
You, Jane, Kristen Chenoweth, and Dove Cameron, like,
I mean,
put it all together, TVs would explode.
I feel like that's a gene pool right there.
I don't know what musical they would adapt to make all that happen, but
God knows.
Whatever, Cinco Paul, call them up, make it happen. We need it.
I mean, if anyone could do it, it's Cinco. Crikey.
Absolutely. Well, Hannah, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for everything. This show, it really means a lot to me, to a lot of people out there. And I appreciate you always being so kind and generous with your interviews, with your time here.
Well, you know what? You know why I wanted to come and circle back with you? It feels like it's completing the cycle. And I want to thank you from our cast for being devoted from day one. We've seen you the whole way through, and you are 100% an honorary Greyhound, my friend.
Wow, I think that's going to be like on my tombstone, honorary Greyhound.
But you are. You are the greatest champion, and we see you and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Well, whether there's more Lasso or not, we'll find a way to keep doing interviews, whatever. Get me on the Mission Impossible cycle, the Home for Christmas cycle. We'll make it happen, okay?
Thank you, lovely.
All right, Hannah, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Bye, lovely. Thanks so much.